invite Elif Oksuz for presentation. We will present this speaking our proceedings together. The title of our study is Designing an Inclusive Navigation App for Taşkışla Building. As you see in this picture, this is our faculty building, and we have 5 departments in this building. It was a neoclassical building, actually. Maybe you can see better examples of this in Florence, in Italy as well. As you know, this is a very actually symmetrical building. That's why we have a very problematic issues related with the accessibility and wayfinding. And whenever we would like to write a paper to this conference, we want to take a real problem we all have to face every day, and then find a solution for that. That's why we consider our building, and then we had a workshop with the students. It was the first part of our study, and we would like to introduce all of you to initial outcomes of this workshop as well, with the beginning of the aim and scope and the background research of our study. So as I said, again, the title of our presentation is Designing an Inclusive Navigation App for Taşkışla Building in Istanbul, in Turkey. And the aim is related with design for universal design, of course, principles. We all are considering all of these in the context of this conference and also in our design issues. Design for all is not only for the acquisition of universal design principles, but also for providing a better user experience for every individual, in everywhere, in any kind of platform. The study, in this context, aims at securing the awareness of inclusiveness in the user experience by using design as a tool. It emphasizes a designer role, and knowledge needs to expand the different platforms for designing user-friendly environments by practicing following universal design principles. Our work presents preliminary study of a startup project and an indoor navigation app for school environments. The aim of this app is directing people with special needs towards the best alternative routes in complex buildings, which can be personalized for users' physical abilities to improve their wayfinding experiences. And to do so, we searched the indoor wayfinding and navigation apps, and then found with their applications such as Maze Map and now Visa. But we have also found out that they don't support the individual needs in the most inclusive ways. For example, those are the examples of these apps we have searched and reached. Maybe there are more, but the first time we found these ones, like this. But as I said before, their solution for being inclusive is limited to solve the problems of wheelchair users. Mostly they are not including all kind of impairments. So this was the main point of our first idea, to solve the problems of people with different disabilities or impairments. So, in other words, being inclusive means caring for all, not only for a disabled person, but a persona with special needs. So, from now on, it was our motto, and we created a workshop based on information and try to fill this gap through a mobile inclusive navigation application for our building first time, and it will be improved. Maybe it will be in App Store in time. So we will see. Now I would like to leave the word to talk about the workshop process, its methodology, task definition process, and initial results and conclusion and future remarks of the workshop to Elif Oksuz to continue about the workshop. Thank you.
Thank you. So we started the workshop and we want to create an awareness for the students to realize that the inclusion is not only limited to physical or spatial experience, but also for the sensory experiences. So we challenge them with the few abilities. And for those of you who don't know Taşkışla Building, let's show a couple of pictures of it. So this is the entrance of the building, and it looks so symmetrical for a non-Taşkışla residents. So, and this is the map that you could use to find your way around it, but it's very symmetrical and it's a very historic building, so it has few challenges to create a better experience for navigation. So we also want to increase, as I said, the awareness of inclusion, not only limited for them, but also for defining different characters. So in this case, we proposed a workshop for it, and it starts with defining a persona with a few challenges and about paper prototyping, the process and realization with the 5 screenshots. It is on sale just in the application store, and their presentation with some of the instructors. Okay, this is actually what we expect because we had so limited time. It's about half-day workshop with 33 students. So they worked in 7 individual groups as groups of 5. And what we expected is giving the structure. What we provided is the template for the application and the paper prototyping process, of course, and we gave the structure. We had to simplify it into smaller concepts because we had a time limit, so we reduced the challenges within a few ways. So, and what we needed is another opening screen for the application and character selection and main menu, and how to get their navigation interface. So we provide them with materials. And this is the workshop timeline you see, and the content and the softwares that we offer for students. And then we start with describing the persona and mention that you need to always remember who to or what you're designing, where you're designing, when you're designing, why you're designing. So these are the challenges that we gave them, and we also warned them that can't talk means it's not like you can use your language. You could be from a different nationality, or the thing that you can walk is not limited to the wheelchair, but also you could be carrying something big, or you could be colorblind to see how the map works or where you find your way. So this is what we expect during the workshop and what we achieve. So they realized the persona with some graphical studies, and they created their application icon, they created the interfaces, and they found the strongest or shortest path for the Taşkışla Building for that special character. And this is one of the works that we'd like, because as you see that the interface, they're very clear, but as I said, the select your persona sections is limited because of the time management. So initial results are like this. Maybe you could see it. We also want to know the graphical representation for these skills. And it was a very interesting experience for the students because it was the first time that interior design students are involved in such a design experience, because usually it's for graphical designers. So it was also a challenge, but I think we achieved a great work here. And these are the other works. And this is one of the posters that we see. Okay, now the conclusion is that the students' awareness of inclusive design is increased in both ways, because they consider it in a sensory experience way and using interface. Also, they practiced it with a physical way, because they took around Taşkışla and they found the shortest way for the disabled persons. And the level of abstract representation, of course, was limited, because as you see in the example, some of the students were using the maps as if they were architects, as if the old users are architects. So we realized that, but in the next time we're planning to increase it. So that was one of the findings. And also we learned that since we had a time limit, we had to reduce the view. But in time, we want to increase it, and we'll redo or improvise it for the next step. So hopefully, eventually, we'll sell it online, I don't know, or put it on sale. And I'd like to thank them for all. And also, I'd like to thank Ivan Chetak for joining us for that day. And thank you for listening.